With Player Podcast now giving you inside kind of real-time insight into what things are like inside of a locker room. It's really interesting to hear Deebo Samuel go on his podcast on Bleacher Report and talk about the mood inside the 49ers locker room after their loss to Seattle. And the way he's talking about the season moving forward, I think it aligns with how a lot of fans feel right now. But again, it's interesting to hear directly from a player right after it happened. So take a listen. Deebo Samuel talking about the loss and where the 49ers currently view this season.
Okay, Deebo. Now Deebo's in the hot seat. This is his least favorite part. No, I'm kidding. I'll go easy on you, but let's talk a little bit, loss on Sunday. It's never easy. And even when you lose, you still have to deal with me on a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, win or lose, I'm here. So let's vent it out. Let's get it out. What is your biggest takeaways from the game, either personally or just as a group?
Kind of like, team meeting yesterday and, being that the game is still kind of fresh. This will be my last time talking about it. So we can move on to the Packers we got this week. But overall, as our offense, we had a lot of penalties, kind of like put us in bad situations. Like you never want to start off first and 25 or first and 20, rather start off first and 10 at all costs. And, we'll go on a little run and then we'll have another penalty. And then we'll have a penalty after that. And just like overall, I just think everybody just need to look in the mirror and just, try to be their best self. We definitely gotta finish in the red zone. We gotta score more. You're looking at look at it last year, we was averaging almost 30 points a game. We're a little short of that right now, even though we're still the number 2 offense in the league. I feel like the sky's the limit for this offense once we, start clicking on all cylinders. But overall, we're 5-5 right now, and every game is like a must win. So we'll see how everybody approaches Wednesday and just, kind of move forward from that.
It felt like in that game you guys just couldn't keep momentum. Like you said, you would get it and then penalty. So it's like your momentum just kept getting cut, which I think is something that you guys are obviously skilled enough to push past and get through. What was the locker room like after the loss? Motivated? Did it feel like? The locker room
was like, you can hear a penny drop in there. It was like dead silent. And you kind of know what that means. We had every opportunity to kind of put that game away early. But penalty stopped us. We were struggling in the red zone a little bit, but you're not gonna win every game. We were 6-0 the past 3 years of going against Seattle, and we know every time we play them it's always a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I said on last week's show, years ago, my rookie year. Came down to the inch-yard line, but Gino and his offense did a good job going downfield. Our defense played well all game.
Yeah.
So they was putting us in the positions where, to kind of put the game away. So I kind of look at us as we gotta hone in and look at ourselves in the mirror and just be our best self and just go out there and play the ball that we play.
Is this a tough time of the year? Do you feel like it's kind of in the middle here? You're kind of on that home stretch of looking at the second half of your season, but does it feel like it can get mentally tough around this time of year?
No, it's definitely tough for sure. With us being 5-5, I think we're number 2, 3 in our division right now.
Mm-hmm. It's a very tight race though in your division. It's a tight race. It's crazy.
We still get to play the Rams. We still get to play Arizona, Detroit later on in the year. But overall, we can just week by week, we try to stack these wins, try to stack these days, and can't look too far ahead, and just got practice starting first thing in the morning, and I feel like you'll feel the vibe from everybody that every game from now on is a must win if if we want to make this playoff run.
When you go into a locker room and it's quiet like that, do you feel like, because I've gotten to know you better and know that you've got a really big, fun personality, do you feel that you want to bring that? Do you ever bring that energy following a loss?
I don't even say nothing.
You're pretty.
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet, just like everybody else is. I mean, it's just some games that you don't supposed to lose, and you have every opportunity to to win, and then you lose. It's what can you say? And then at that moment, everybody don't want to hear no hee ha ha, and just it's just it's ball at that time. It's not like you put all your personal stuff to the side and just be like, yo, we know for a fact we should have won this game and we shouldn't have lost. So I feel like that's why it was like ultimately quiet as it can possibly be in there until Cal burned the team up.
So I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate hearing that this team was pissed off. I appreciate hearing that it was dead silent. I appreciate hearing, like he said, there's no hee hee ha ha, like joking around. Like that's how you know, like this team really understands what just happened. They really understand the opportunity that they just let slip through their fingertips. And I think that's why the fan base is so upset, is because it's not just a one-off, a two. This is a third time in division they've done this season. And so I do appreciate that Deebo is sharing that it is very upsetting for this group. And that's how you know they care. That's how you know that they expect better of themselves. And what I also found interesting is the kind of the mentality is they find themselves in a must-win game, not just against the Packers. He said from here on out, meaning they have 7 games against Packers, Bills, Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Lions, Cardinals, and every single one of them is a must win. That's not a good spot to be in, but this team typically plays well with against, with pressure. At least they have in the past. Obviously, this year isn't like the last couple years. And I think that's why a lot of fans are very frustrated, is because this doesn't look like the team that we've come to recognize. This doesn't look like the San Francisco 49ers that we know, while others will say, well, they are who they are. And they're showing you continuously over and over again that they're a team that can't maintain a fourth quarter lead. They're a team that can't hold a fourth quarter lead. And at a certain point, this fan base isn't wrong because it keeps occurring. And so internally, that needs to be something that they obviously have to fix. This mentality that they have in fourth quarters needs to change. It needs to shift. And again, I'm not in those buildings. I'm not in those meetings. So I can't give you insight into, well, this is what they're doing now and they need to change it. I can only give an outside assessment of it from the way that I've watched film and the way that I see these games play out in real time. And to me, it's a mentality. To me, they play not to lose, and they lose because of that. I feel like there is this mentality of, you know, obviously having to analyze the range of outcomes for every single situation, which you have to do, in my opinion, but with the focus of being so like afraid of the negative ranges of outcomes that you're trying to call a game and pull these levers and do these things to avoid going down the negative side, when it's almost like inviting it in. It's weird. To me, it's like a psychological thing. We hear a lot about manifestation, especially with athletes, and the way they talk about speaking things into existence and doing those things. And it's like, man, if you continually speak into existence, like losing fourth quarter leads, I think it can also perpetuate losing fourth quarter leads. I don't know. Again, this is my psychoanalysis as an outsider looking in. It just feels like they play not to lose, and they're not playing to win. And I think if you've played football, in college, I would say beyond high school, like you understand that a little bit more at its core. And it's a different way that permeates through the entire team. If they're like, oh, we just got to hang on to this one, hang on to this one, instead of keep your foot on the pedal and run through their face over and over and over again. We're going to come out of here with the win. That's a different mentality. It's a different way of playing ball. It's a different way. And I just feel like they need to quit playing in these fourth quarters not to lose. They need to play to win. They need to keep going. They need to keep scoring. No, I've tweeted it since the beginning of the year. If you have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, you need to pretend like you're down 7. That's the mentality. You need to get away from we're playing not to lose to we're behind, even though we have a 10-point lead mentally. because you see this team when they're behind, they're attacking, there's urgency, that's needs to be the entire game. And for me as a fan who is also frustrated along with all of you, that's what there needs to be a shift in psychology, like how they handle those moments. It needs to be a shift. And because what they're doing and continuously trying to do it that way isn't working. And so they need to they need to shift something. It doesn't mean you have to change your identity, doesn't mean you have to change who you are, doesn't have to change your philosophy. It's just change your mentality. Change how you approach, not just keep attacking. And I think things would change for this team because they have the talent, they have the capabilities, they have what they need. Just got to shift the gears, in my opinion. Instead of throttling down, you got to throttle up. And that's been my biggest thing with the 49ers. We'll see if anything changes, but those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought about Deebo Samuel and all that good stuff in the comments below. As always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.